Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. So come along with me as I take you guys through some spring homemaking and just what I've been up to in my home. If you're new here, my name is Mai and I am a mom to two boys. I like making Christian living and motherhood content. I am starting off this video by making a cold brew with vanilla sweet cream cold foam, and this is just a like healthier alternative that I want to show you guys how to make your cold foam. Instead of using vanilla syrup, I use maple syrup and vanilla extract instead. Along with my coffee and breakfast, I split a blueberry scone with Oliver. These are from the Clever Carrot, which I will have the recipes I used linked below. These scones, I have been making them like over and over again. They're absolutely delicious, and I sub out the sugar for honey. It turns out absolutely wonderful, so if you want to do that as well. And then next, what I am making is some sourdough discard crackers, also from the Clever Carrot. These turned out so delicious. They taste like Cheez-Its or Goldfish, but real without the added ingredients. And that is my goal as a homemaker, to have my children, myself included, my husband, to have our taste buds trained for real foods. And when we taste very processed foods, once in a while, to not be addicted to it, but rather that we're craving real foods instead. I say this with no judgment at all because my kid has had Cheez-Its, Goldfish, chips, but want to make those rare occasions. Just an example, my husband grew up like eating Little Debbie, and I grew up eating hot Cheetos, whereas now we're adults, and my husband does not get tempted at all to eat hot Cheetos, and I don't get tempted at all to eat Little Debbie. So it's just how our taste buds are trained. For the second batch, I made the crackers a lot smaller, and now I want to get the Goldfish cracker cutout to make these again. I think that'd be so fun. Anyways, this next clip, I'm showing you guys one of my favorite easy dinners to make, because in the spring and summer, I tend to not want anything extremely hearty. Just something more light. I'm just cooking up some ground beef, adding in Korean barbecue sauce. I got that sauce from Aldi. And then instead of carbs, I'm just sauteing some zucchini, which I chop up real small. That way it's nice where I don't have to like flip the zucchini. I just saute them in the pan, and it cooks up really fast with some avocado oil. The late night owl in me just had to include a little clip of doing a project at night, and this pillow broke from the wash. I actually washed it in my spring cleaning video, and I had been putting this off because the thought of getting out the sewing machine and then, on top of all my daily chores that I already have to be on top of, and then like my kids, I just did not want to face it until literally this night, and I did it, sat down, and it took me 5 minutes. So sometimes we really do just have to face the task head on, and it's not as bad as it seems. For my sourdough journey, I was on a really good roll before giving birth to my second son, Lincoln, but after he was born, that postpartum phase. And then a little while ago, I started my own starter from scratch, and it took me like 1.5 weeks. This is my 4th loaf since having the starter activated, and I'm just not really good at making loaves. This, as you can see, I feel like it looks so flat, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I even added some water for the steam. I heard that helps rise the loaf as well. I can make sourdough bagels, sourdough discard recipes, but something about the loaf itself I have not mastered the art of, and I think it's just I need to make more to really experiment, and as you do something more, you get better and better at it, which this has been my best loaf yet, because it was not dense like all my other ones. And that is always what I'm trying to aim for, is not making my loaves so dense. There's bigger bubbles in this one, and eating it was a much better experience. It just tasted perfect. Going back to training my taste buds to eat real foods, when I first made my loaf, like my first ever loaf of homemade bread, I thought it tasted so weird and that I would just forever purchase bread from the grocery store. But as I continue to make my own bread, and my family goes out on picnics on Sundays where I make my own bread for that, I cannot go back to the Wonder Bread unless it's like a really clean ingredient bread from the grocery store. But yeah, other than that, I like sticking to my own homemade bread. And the thing is, it is so easy to make. Part of it is just the mental battle where you think it's going to be hard because it takes long, but really it's just a rising time. And it's such a simple way that I can bless my family of making something homemade and healthier at home compared to the store. But anyways, this clip, I'm just showing you guys the endless laundry. As a child, I barely did any laundry, and now as a mom, it is hitting so different because I'm doing about a load a day, or if I skip one day, I will do 2 loads the next day. Oliver and I, we're doing some planting. I've had this seed starter kit for a year now, and my neighbor has chickens that will come into our yard sometimes. That's why I've been procrastinating planting it, because I didn't want the chickens to like come and peck at my plants. But I noticed on some of the seed packets that you can actually have some of them in pots. So I only planted the ones where you could have in pots. I'm either going to keep them in my house or in a tall garden bed where the chickens can't get to. And then again, I think this is just a blessing if I am able to grow some food, because I'm not a homesteader where I keep animals, which I would love to one day. And part of me contemplates buying baby chickens to see them grow up. That way I'm not so scared of chickens. But for right now, if I can just start on something small, like sourdough is a gateway drug, and then planting some plants and hopefully some animals in the future, where I would love some farm fresh eggs. But anyways, here I am trying a new recipe. About a year ago, I bought some quick oats from Sam's Club, and if you buy something from Sam's Club, it comes in bulk. So yeah, we have so much, and I don't really know what to do with it because I've been trying to eat more high protein, and then the oats don't get eaten up at all. They're just sitting in the pantry. But I found a recipe that uses quick oats for the granola bars. I used peanut butter instead of almond butter, and then I also used less maple syrup than what the recipe called for. These are absolutely delicious. They crumble a little bit, but after being in the fridge, they held together more. My toddler loves them, and so do I. Another very easy meal, high protein as well, that I've been making to meal prep for lunches is salmon. And Aldi sells wild caught salmon, which I feel like is so rare. Like I can't really find that in grocery stores, at least not at Sam's Club. But Aldi sells it for a great price. I don't even really look up a recipe. I just kind of put whatever spices I'm feeling, put that with some avocado oil, and it bakes for 8 to 11 minutes. So yeah, very easy. I eat it with some rice. Well, thank you all so much for watching this video where I got to be a good steward of my home and family that God has blessed me with. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye!